What's up?
I was eating something, make sure it's not on my face.
What? Dude, the video worked. It was super
It did.
great.
A lot of you guys out there aren't going to the gym, aren't working out because you're scared of people judging you or making fun of you and saying they don't know what you're doing, but it ain't that deep, I promise. You're good. I'm in here in the gym, got my trusty man with me, you know. It don't really matter, it's all good. Got a banana on my head in the middle of the gym. It don't matter at all, bro. Just go out there and just move. Just move. Well,
I was so happy. Like, it caught attention and everything, and I was going through the comments and stuff, and people were like so hyped about it. It was so cute.
Yeah, they liked it. I'm glad.
Yeah. So,
It was a good idea.
thank you. You executed it. Your whole theme of like no one's looking you in the gym and then keeping the banana. So it made sense. Like it was relatable and it was like super meaningful and shit. So it was cool. So I had to
Yeah.
ask you, so this whole, so you've consumed Gary's content and your whole ambition is to create a personal brand, right? Like that would be the ultimate thing. So I was thinking, I was just studying about it and I was seeing how now we can execute because my phone still isn't here. It's still gonna take another week. So till the time I was like, before I get it, like let me just plan out how we're going to do this whole thing. So I was thinking, how much time do you have during the day that you can devote to only creating content and stuff?
I'm trying to get 2 hours a day of just like making stuff. What about you?
I have hours with me that I can dedicate because I don't really have like something major like a school or job or something like that. This is I'm trying to do this full time and stuff. So I have throughout the day. So what I was thinking was if we kind of create one vlog kind of a thing for YouTube and then chop that content into like Facebook and Instagram and like Snapchatting and stuff like takes a couple of seconds, like you could just record something and stuff like that. So I was thinking to go all in and therefore I just kind of prepared slides on how to do it. So because also editing takes a lot of time
Like
and
his 86 page thing that has all the. I know what you're talking about. The content model thing that's on his website.
wait,
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
couldn't
good.
find the content model. I just chopped up from his videos about. Do you have it? Could you find it?
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I've seen it before. I'll show it to you.
Wait, I got a message. Do you know how to do the screen sharing thing?
No, actually, I don't.
Wait, I'll tell you. So, you see the three options, the microphone, the video, and the disconnect button? Just right next to it, it's the screen sharing option, the two squares on top of each other. I see it.
Yeah, so that link I sent you is it too, but
Uh-huh.
it's on LinkedIn. Or you could go on his website to see it. But like, he talks about the whole concept of it.
I see. That's 86 slides. Okay.
Yep.
Wait, now let me show you something that I put up, but it's not this elaborated, like just a very brief description of, I guess, this, because I've never gone through it, but it also came from him and Jake. Let me show you. Yeah, so you have the SoundCloud rappers and stuff. I found this super cool guy. His name is D Flowerty or something, and he has this dope ass song which is called Nights Like This.
I be going hard like I know I'm going far. Nigga ain't too deep, so I know I can't fall. This rap life really be attracting all these broads. I hope with good intentions when you chillin' with a star. Damn, you and your friends, how do you tense? Killing this shit, driving the bins. Bad bitches link up, all of you win, shot it.
And I was fascinated by it. It just has like 3,000, a very few thousand views. And I thought that if we could take permission from them, if we could include like their music in our vlogs and stuff, and then collaborate with them. Like we are anyway building audience, so that's beneficial for their music to get exposure. And at the same time, we kind of build a relationship. And whenever they are promoting their music, they could be like, like check out their vlogs. They've used my music in a certain way and stuff. So I thought that would be a very cool like
I
collaboration.
like that a lot. It's good. That's good cross promotion.
Right? So I think the whole big thing of what we're kind of doing is building community, right? Like networking. Like I network with you, now we vibe, and then now both of us grow together and then come back and collaborate, right? Like you must have gained a couple of followers in a couple of days, right? Me, not so much because I'm not really producing any content as such at the moment. And then now I've spoke to this another guy who I found from Gary V's, and I have a call with him tomorrow. And now I'm like just gonna
Nice.
speak with him and like do a podcast thing and see if we vibe with him, then we can like tell him to hop on the train and then kind of grow
Well,
like this. What do you think about it?
that sounds good to me.
Yeah. So every day, would you be able to like take out time to like make like one vlog or something? Because what YouTube is going to do is YouTube is going to give you this. It's going to be like the main platform because YouTube audience is very sticky, and that is where. So we wouldn't get paid through Instagram, but YouTube you would get like Google ad checks and Google AdSense and stuff and checks from Google. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be more sticky. You know, like we can really show ourselves, show our personality more on YouTube. That's where you will build the strongest fan base. And then Instagram and stuff's like easy. If you really let go of like how we perceive ourselves, like I don't look good, but like just actually pick up the phone and start recording and just post it. It's a matter of minutes, right? Instead of like thinking
It
too
is.
much. So I think Instagram would be easy. Maybe posts might be a little difficult, but we can also strip down from YouTube, like whatever is like the major moment, the a 30-second or 1 minute thing, and then post it onto Instagram and like just post a picture or whatever with long ass captions, you know? If because our pictures might not be like super great or some shit, right? Like no one's a model, but our caption is something that is going to give it substance,
It is.
right?
It's what makes the whole post. Absolutely.
And I was thinking just because, so this is, I feel like what I've been understanding for the longest time is this is a game of distribution. Everyone's making content. But now it comes down to work ethic and strategy. Like, are we willing to put enough time to distribute content everywhere? Everywhere. You know? Like, if it's 1,000 from Facebook, SoundCloud, you know, you never know where it just hits, where someone like just really fucks with you and like that would be like your, you know, like stepping stone or whatever.
That's the truth. You never know.
You just never know. So it's just us increasing our possibilities, doing as much as we can. And then he talks about patience, like, you know, you do as much as you can and like just wait for the result. But at the same time, we really have to enjoy what we do. Did you enjoy making the video and stuff? Like, do you enjoy doing Instagram? I see like you're pretty active and stuff. Do you
Yeah, I
have
enjoy
fun?
it.
Right? Like people
I was
interact.
really scared to make that video. Though, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I gotta put a banana on my head and go to the gym. I was like, this is kind of scary. They'll think I'm weird. Then I like had to post it. And I was like, but I'm glad I did it.
It was so good. Like I loved the reaction. That video was so fun. Like it actually worked. I was so happy. The fact that you actually like took the guts and like did it, like props to you, man. That was fantastic. So I was just thinking, you know, us brainstorming, like I saw your stuff, I told you like what you could have done, you see my stuff, you critique it, and then I feel like that's how like, I really know this is gonna work, but it just matters like if we are willing to execute and if we're really willing to put in the time and stuff, you know?
That's the truth. Execution is everything.
It's everything. So that's why I wanted to like kind of get your headspace and know your schedule and how much time are you willing to really squeeze in to like do
So you want to do a daily vlog every day?
You know what I was thinking for to make it easier for a person who has a busy schedule, because good for you. That's the busier schedule you have, the more content you have. For example, what you can do is like with the camera or your phone or whatever, however you want to record stuff, throughout the day you can take clips of whatever you're doing. I believe you're training and stuff throughout the day, you're eating, you're going out, you're driving. Just take clips throughout the day. And by the end of the day, when you have those 2 hours or the next morning or whenever it works for you, you sit and kind of narrate the entire vlog. Like, so I went to the gym and I met this motherfucker, like, I'm gonna fuck him up, and then you show one clip of you guys fighting or something, right? I don't know, just saying. And then to give context through those clips, but at the same time, it's not over your head the entire day. But people still kind of understand how your day went, you know?
Gotcha.
It's just like
Okay,
switching
yeah.
on the camera the entire time.
Yeah, okay, I'd be like, boom. Video chat with Dithika.
Yeah.
You know, went to did this.
Yeah, by the way, we're recording this. I figured out
We
how
are?
to record. Yeah. So
That's awesome, that's
this is
awesome.
going to be the whole community building podcast sort of a thing. I don't know how to upload podcasts yet. I'm trying to figure it out, but
I can help you out with some of the stuff.
I feel like now, I don't know, podcast is more of a long-term vision because audio is going to play out in the long run. It's important to do it right now, but no one's really gonna be interested in us with audio. I feel like video is more captivating because you get to see the person, you get to see what they're up to. You know, instead of like just listening to us, it would be more interesting to maybe like see us do stuff, you know? And it's like more doable, like you can edit it and like just do funny things that people would laugh about, right? And
I think you do either one. Like I think you're good. I think we could just do both because he always says use the audio from the video. You know what I mean? He always says do everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean though. But it's a lot of work to start putting it up. So if you want to just do video first, like that's what I did too. So don't. It comes in steps and like definitely like I got you. Like do whatever you have to do to start because that's what I have to do too. Start with the small stuff.
Small stuff. I was actually looking at it so closely with gymming because, you know, when you would go over to the gym after a long break and you would just want to continue like a heavy workout. But then that's not how it is. You know, once you're going after a couple of months, you start like slowly taking small steps till the time you're working out for 2 hours. So our whole content distribution also, I'm thinking let's do with one main thing, which would be video. And then we could start, you know, like gradually stripping it. I felt like Instagram would be the easiest first, which is going live, and you posted that video, it worked, so we know what we're doing makes sense. Just a lot of brainstorming. I was listening to this podcast about Mr. Beast. You know who he is? He's making these crazy videos on YouTube. He's getting like 20, 30, 17 million views, and most of his videos are about like just random crazy ideas, like putting 1 million Legos in my backyard, or staying in one circle for 24 hours. Whoever holds the Lamborghini for 24 hours straight gets the Lamborghini. It's like just weird ideas. And and now he has like of course he has a ton of money now, but earlier his videos were like listening to It's Everyday Bro for 10 hours straight, and he would record like for 10 hours, it would go on. That guy's crazy. He's the most amazing ideas. It's insane. Like you can check him out on YouTube and stuff. Just he's actually Mr. Beast.
He sounds crazy, but I love it, Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
I'm listening. I just had to find this page so I can look at it later.
Yeah, of course. So in the podcast, these guys were like, you know, like how does he do it? So he said that every day for at least an hour to two, he sits and just brainstorms. Like just sits and thinks that wait, what can we do? Like that banana thing just came to my head. There were bananas right there in the room, and you were about fitness. I'm like, wait, what can we do which is gonna like just turn things around? And that's where the idea came. So if you like just really sit and brainstorm for our videos to have a plot, you know, it's going to be so much more about storytelling. That's what I've been studying. And our vlogs are going to be like an interesting story of whatever we do in our day. But there has to be like one banger, you know? Like the whole plot twist of your video was a banana. But at the same time, it was you, it was your personality, and it was your advice. But what is it, that one thing that made you stand out, that made the video like share or whatever, you know? That kind of thing. So for vlogs, I was thinking if you sit, and I also thought, you know, I had the craziest idea before you did it, that we can collaborate through stories or through posts. For example, me, you, and then this other guy, all of us can have a banana over our head and do like one kind of like a continuance post. You know, like I come up with something, I'll be like, you know, go follow him to see what's the next thing. They see you, and then the next one, right? Something like that.
I like that. That's
right?
funny.
It is funny, and it is just coming with a lot of brainstorming. So I feel like if all of us kind of built this community, which is, I don't know, I feel like all of us are kind of like-minded, but at the same time, so we can like execute together. It's something different, and I don't feel like anyone's doing it. And if even like it takes one video for like your life to like, I wouldn't say life to change, but then one viral video for like things to start rolling, you know?
It does. It does change everything.
And if
us having a video with a banana on our head is
Yeah.
funny. That's like a funny concept. If all of us just had a video of us talking with bananas on our head, that's ridiculous.
And
But
it's so funny because I'm thinking, he talks about content, right? Like recording, post as much as you can. So even as a brainstorming is content. Like if I'm recording this Skype thing, we are also trying to brainstorm and figure it out, right? This is content. Us making content. You know, like it's going to be a whole documentation from thinking to making to posting, which is in turn more content for us. right? And for
It
people
is.
to like feel more engaged. Nothing like so far-fetched or like far-reached or whatever. So for all of this, like all we need is like time. Like if we so listen, like in a day we can break out like three times we meet or like three times we try to do something for 30 minutes. The first session is going to be brainstorming, where we brainstorm about stuff, right? And the second is going to be us trying to make we would have to do it on our own probably. And then at the end of the day we could like post or do something like that. While we're posting we could like make Snapchats and stuff like that. So if we like kind of form a very strict schedule for ourselves, I feel like it's going to work out for all of us. And why I was thinking for it to work is because we're going to distribute ourselves on all the platforms, you know? That means more probability. And then it's going to be more number of people. So if I'm on 7 platforms, that's 7 times the chance get discovered more versus I have 3 people. That's 21 times more, right? Then these 3 people have 1,000 followers each. That's like 21. You know, like just the probability. And if you work with the math, it's going to work. It's just time and effort, and it's just going to be a lot, like very strict time and schedule and all that kind of a thing.
I like that.
So I was thinking, like, are you down? Like, can we form a schedule? Like every day we try. Like, I still need my phone to come because on the phone's expensive as fuck. It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
So I was still thinking, should I get like a second-hand phone and a camera, or get like one expensive phone or whatever? But on Valentine's Day we have these offers coming up, so my father's just waiting for that. So that's another 4 days. So as soon as that happens, we can like start doing this. So are you
Okay.
down to take out time and stuff? Like,
I'm down.
yeah? So you would have to like
I'm
tell
down.
me your schedule a little bit, how we can do it, so that tomorrow I'm speaking with this guy and I can share with him how we're thinking of doing things and stuff.
Um, so what do you want to do? Like, do you want to have do like a weekly meeting thing, and then like have our own time schedule? Like, what are you thinking?
I was thinking in every day, your morning, my night, or whatever, we take out one like even like just 20 minutes, I guess, to think about, okay, now what all do we have to do throughout the day? So somehow I want the content to be somehow like linked, you know, not similar, because your personality would be different, mine would be different, but still there has to be this touch to it, that it's like in a sync. So if someone's watching me, they would want to come watch you because you would add something to it, or I would be missing something, you know? So
Got it.
every day,
So
20,
it's
yeah.
like a continuous vlog. It's but 3 different people's vlog combined into one.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, true, but not really continuance. Like, you have to watch the other person, then they would know that we're tricking them. It's more of like a human behavior thing. What I mean is, like, if we have one meeting at the beginning of the day, right? Just 20 minutes brainstorming. So, all right, guys, on Snapchat, we're doing this. On YouTube, we're doing this. Because every day to come up with ideas is going to be difficult. But if we help each other, it's going to be easy, you know? So,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
actually
thinking,
pretty good. I like the concept of this.
right? Like, I know it's very stressful for me to think of stuff, but I know when I'm talking to someone, it gets easier for like to get your perspective on it and kind of do it like that. So every day, like a 20-minute meeting, brainstorming of what you have to do and what I have to do. Then then throughout the day you have your hours. Like, when is it that you're free, when you can actually make stuff and execute stuff? And then I feel like by the end we can just I don't know, like have another call or whatever and just kind of critique. All this is only till we get the momentum of what we're doing it. Once we catch the momentum, we would only need one call just to brainstorm. You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think this out. Sounds cool though.
Also, then building people at the same time,
This is a good idea.
right?
I'm trying to think of how to execute it. Okay, so you're saying like a 20-minute call of like figuring out what we're gonna do for the day, then we do our day, and the same thing the next day, and the same thing the next day, and the same thing the next day.
Right? Like, because the
I
days,
like the concept definitely.
I feel like this is, I genuinely feel like if this call thing is gonna keep all of us in a schedule, like, just being very disciplined about it, that this time we need to have a call irrespective of what's happening in life, and then do it. And at the same time, like, I feel like it's going to be, can you hear me? Can you see me?
You're frozen. There you go. I see you now.
Yeah. What was I saying? I was saying that it's going to be very difficult. It's not very difficult, but what's going to help us succeed is being consistent and being very, very disciplined. And that is why whoever's doing it needs to be like all in. I know you have your day and you would want to run it, but at the same time, like, this is exactly the gateway for us to have everything. We watch Gary Vee, like, we know what we're doing, right? So it's not up in the air. And I feel like the brainstorming thing is really, really going to help us, because the amount of content that we have to create is going to be obnoxious. And if we can really think smartly, we would be able to do more with doing less. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's ideal.
Because hustling would be a huge part of it. So once I make the content, right, I would start commenting on these. I told you, like, how to get subscribers on YouTube, start commenting on channels talking about all that stuff, right? Then me DMing all these people to come on the podcast so we can find potential people to do this, right? Like, we work, but then they work. Like, I work for you and you work for me, right? Because both of us will be catering to different audience, but then everyone's going to come to one place. So strategize, like brainstorming session, and then strategizing session of growing audience, and then executing. So executing would be in the middle. The first would be brainstorming, making the content, thinking of the content, making the content, and third would be distributing the content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you have like people in mind that you would want to reach out to? And they have to watch Gary Vee, because I remember speaking to a friend of mine yesterday, and just because she didn't watch him, like, a person who is not watching him does not really have a context on what this whole social media and personal branding and all that is, because it's a lot of hours of understanding and studying it. Only that's when you are in the right mindset to execute, right? So just to like not waste time, everyone, like we include, has to be like
has to be in it.
Yeah. So do you have people in mind or something?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe 2 people.
Who absorb his content and stuff?
Yeah. My maybe Joe would be down to do this. He has his own tea company, and he's been on a lot of my content. Like, I've interviewed a couple times. He's on my podcast.
Yeah.
He's somebody I'm really cool with, who's really into content. Gary Vee. I gotta think a little more about this though. Okay, I like where this is going though.
Think about it. It's fine.
What about you? Do you have anyone else besides the one dude?
I'm DMing people like every day. Like yesterday, I spoke to this girl. She was actually a friend of mine. I met her like once 4 or 5 years ago, and we like just got in touch. And she's pretty like cool and stuff. But just because she did not consume his content, she wasn't in the right state. So I was like, it's not gonna work out. And yesterday I was also having like just such a shitty day. So the whole podcast thing that we did was like, it was whatever, It wasn't that great shit. So I am DMing people, and then I spoke to this guy, and then I'm also, so my end goal would, not end goal, but like a huge goal of mine would be to work for Jake Paul. And I'm trying to find everyone who surrounds him. Like people who are not with a lot of followers and stuff, and start calling them on my podcast and start building relationships and start networking. That would be also a huge thing, right? So if people find out about my podcast, they know what we are doing. That's a whole lot of exposure, even if they are not a part of the community. And then also because I'm planning to move to LA and stuff by the end of the year, I'm trying to find people who live in LA to like just make friends and like kind of establish relationships there. But I'm trying to find people. I wanted like with you it worked out perfect. I want to tomorrow test this guy and see what he's like. And if he's into the same thing as we are, then it's going to be a definite that everyone who's consuming Gary would be down to do this.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, what if someone like just comes in and like just steals all our shit and like just doing his own thing? But I was like, you can't be expecting shit like that.
Yeah.
You gotta be optimistic and like, we'll do us, and then they can do like whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly.
You can't like worry about other people and shit.
But I gotta fly out of here. So can you DM me about what happens with the other dude, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, I'll speak with him tomorrow and I'll let you know. And I'm just waiting for my phone to come so I can actually start doing stuff, and at least like you and I can do things till then. Yeah?
Okay. And I'll vlog today too then.
Cool. Try to do it today. And I mean, yeah, like just go ahead, try, see how it's coming up, and then if you want, you can like show me, like what it's like and stuff, and then we can think about how do we go from there. And I'll speak with this guy. That is going to be one thing. Then I'll let you know how it went, and then as soon as I get my phone, we can start like doing the whole at least meetings thing and all that stuff, and start going with it. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support and shit. And that's like,
no problem. Always.
Kill this shit.
Keep the ideas rolling. I like the way you think.
I mean, all of us are going to do this together. Like, you are going to grow, I'm going to grow. We have to do this together, right?
Always.
So I'm excited and great. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming. Care. This was like a little podcast and shit. And I'll follow up with you about the whole podcasting if I get stuck in between to ask you how to do stuff.
I got your back, all right?
All right.
Take care, Jessica.
Bye.
Bye.